All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Wahara Kakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the hopeful elect out here toiling in this truth. I'm Pathaka Moth Jim S. Dallas, and I'm just coming back at you with a really quick hit lesson. Just going in on this video right here on that you see on the screen. I'm gonna pull this up in a second, play it. Where it says the children of Israel were not white, were not black, but boxwood. You know, Jewish Rabbi Harry Rosenberg admits Jews were originally boxwood complexion, and at the time when I saw this lesson, immediately I thought, well, boxwood is brown, man. You know, that's a brown, so that disproves them being the people right off the top, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, you can't be the people if boxwood complexion is brown. See, but he called himself trying to cut, you know, the blacks because they know that we're so-called. The so-called blacks, because they know that there's a raising up of so-called blacks over here in America and throughout the four corners that's now claiming to be the Israelites, man. You know what I'm saying? So he's going to go into, and I got another video that I'm gonna pull up that he did, you know, prior to this video, you know, where he was going into how the black people basically are Israelites. You know what I'm saying? So now he's trying to retract, and they're trying to cover up and retract, and you know, Esau is just a devil, man. They're the wicked. They're liars. And they're deceivers, man, which the scriptures go into all of these things, man. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we're gonna get into this a particular video. Then I got another video that I'm gonna bring us. Before I do that, though, let's go ahead and get a couple of scriptures, you know, just to make that point, because as I said, they're liars and they're deceivers, man. So this is Psalms chapter 58. And it went to Isaiah 34. I was clearly in Psalms. This is Psalms 58 and verse 3. And it reads, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. And that's exactly what they do, man. They speak lies, man. You know, and we know who the wicked is, you know, pursuant to Job 9:24 and pursuant to Malachi the 1st chapter and verse 4. You know, they're the border of wickedness. We now know that's talking about Esau, the Edomites, the true biblical red Hebrew Edomites, which we now know are the so-called self-proclaimed white man, woman, and child, man. You know, and they're estranged from the womb, man. They're weird people. You know what I'm saying? Do weird things, man. You know what I'm saying? From the womb. You know what I'm saying? And it says they go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies, man. Lies. You know, that's their MO. Lies, deception, wickedness, evil. You know, and when you read in Revelations, the 12th chapter, in verse 9, it reads, and the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil, proving he was back in the garden, man. That serpent, it was Esau, man, called the devil, deceiver, and Satan, adversary, because he's adverse to the Lord and the Lord's ways, and he's adverse to the Lord's people, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians of Negro descent. You make up the 12 no longer lost tribes, Salakia, of the nation of Israel. You know, we know who we are now in these times, man. It says, and the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, adversary, which deceiveth the whole world. Isaiah 60:2. This earth in darkness, these people in gross darkness, because of those lies and deception. That's that darkness, man. You know, he was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. Him and these other nations, Esau and these other nations, are going into hardcore slavery for 1,000 years, man. He's going to be cast out of his rulership, taken down when Yahushua returns, you know, and then they're going into hardcore slavery, man, being cast out of heaven, man, out of rulership. You know what I'm saying? So these devils are devils, man. You know what I'm saying? And as a matter of fact, let's just go and get into this. I knew I was going to do that. I have to pull this up again. I don't know why it does that. This phone is tripping these days. So let's get into this video real quick and check this out. And then I got another video that I want to play after this one. And I got this from the brother GMS Get This Work out of LA, Big Judah. Shalom to that, brother.
All right. Now we know in the Mishnah, so written somewhere in a little after 200 of the Common Era, so traditions going back further than that. It's talking about the Jewish people in terms of their color. How are we described?
Right, so Rabbi Yehuda Nasi wrote the Mishnah. He was a direct descendant from the house of King David, and he was in charge of the passing on the law of the generation. Now, to have written down the oral law was forbidden for the Israelites. It was oral, meant to be taught father to son. He saw that we are already scattered around the whole world, and if we don't preserve this, we're going to lose it. So he chose to write it down, and it was called the Mishnah. In the Mishnah, he was speaking about the skin afflictions that happened to people in the times of the temple, and when he's speaking about the color of the skin, he references and says that the children of Israel were not white, and they were not black. They were boxwood. That's the word it was used. Perhaps like the color of the table we're sitting at. And you have to imagine he was saying the children of Israel. I think he was speaking about in past tense of who they were at the time already that he was alive. You had great, Roman converts who became Torah scholars. Rabbi Akiva's father was a convert. Rabbi Akiva was one of the greatest sages ever. You had
And that's funny that end because he just disproved them being the Israelites. He just proved that they're not the Israelites. Boxwood, just like he said, the color of that table, was a dark brown, looked like to me, but that's the color of boxwood. It's a brown complexion, man. It's a brown color, which cuts them, man. That means y'all can't be the people. And I don't know who that guy that he mentioned descended from David, man. They don't descend. They descend from Esau, man. They're the descendants of Edom. They're Edomites, man. You know what I'm saying? And we don't deal with the Mishnah. See, they deal with everything but the Bible. They deal with the Mishnah and the Talmud and all these books of madness that came from them to further their agenda of lies and deception that they're the people of the Lord, man. They're not the people of the Lord. The Bible clearly describes the people of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to get into that. But just to about that Mishnah, because they deal with all these other books and don't deal with the Bible, man. You know what I'm saying? They don't deal with the Bible. They don't deal with the Messiah. So really quick, this is Isaiah chapter 34 and verse 16, and it reads, "Seek ye out of the book of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai and read. No one of these shall fail. None shall want her mate. For my mouth it hath commanded, and his spirit it hath gathered them." And they weren't gathered by way of the Spirit of the Lord. They weren't gathered by prophecy, man. They got put over there by a way of the Balfour Declaration of 1948, man. They've created their own way of becoming Israelites, converts, and different things, man. That's not of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. It says, "Seek ye out of the book of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai and read." You know what I'm saying? It didn't say the Mishnah. It didn't say the Talmud. You know what I'm saying? And none of these other books, the Book of the Dead and the Meta Netter and any of them books, man, the Quran, the Lord ain't dealing with any of those books, man. There's one authorized book, the KJV, the King James Bible, man, the 1611, man. It's the only authorized Bible. That's the word of the Lord, man. You know what I'm saying? So seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read, man. No one of these shall fail, man. The prophecies are going to come about, man. They're going to happen. You're not going to go wrong dealing with the Bible and in its correct form, man. Not the Christian doctrine, not the Catholic doctrine, none of these other doctrines out here. The Mormon doctrine and all these other doctrines. No, man. The pure, true doctrine. Which we now have. And it's not going to fail, man. You know what I'm saying? So, the book of the Mishnah and the Talmud and all that, that's the book of these devils, man. That ain't got nothing to do with nothing. So we're going to get into this other video real quick because I got another video that I want to present because he's going to totally say something totally different in this next book. In this next video that I'm about to type in real quick. I put in Reisenberg Salakia. And in this video here, he's going to go into, and explain how in the western coast of Africa, the Nigerians or the Igbo or the Igbo are basically are Israelites. And then he spoke about the so-called blacks over here in America, because they know that we're coming up and we're starting to proclaim our true heritage again. You know what I'm saying? We're in those times, man. So he's going to go into all that. But I want you to pay attention to around the 3-minute and 38-second mark, somewhere around there. He's going to start going into how they came in later, and and he's going to go into that whole converts thing. And then somebody in the audience is going to make some kind of noise. I don't know if they kicked a bucket or they did something to get his attention. And you can tell that's what they did, because watch the expression on his face. I may kind of back it up a couple of times just so you can see it really good and associate it, because somebody in the audience was telling him to shut the fuck up. He's talking too much, you're doing too much, you're giving out too much information. They didn't want us to know, and he's helping further, who the true people are, man. Even that Boxwood one, he calls himself, cutting the fact that we are, but Boxwood is brown, man, by saying they're neither white nor black, but Boxwood is brown. That cuts you. That still don't cut us. We're all different shades of brown, man. You know what I'm saying? And because of the curses and the byword and Proverbs is where the black comes in. It falls up under those byword and proverb and bywords, man. You know what I'm saying? So, and the Lord knew that. That's why black is in the Bible. He knew that we was going to be being called black, man. No new thing under the sun. Ecclesiastes 3:15. That which was then is now, man. You know what I'm saying? So, and I may pull that depending, we'll see. But those things that were happening back then are happening now. You know what I'm saying? So nothing new, man. You know what I'm saying? So let's get into this real quick. I'm gonna let you play. It's a little under 5 minutes. I'm gonna play this, and then we're gonna go get into a few color scriptures just to prove, just to more further prove who the people are, man. You know what I'm saying? So let's
genetic marker to let us know that they share the same.
Let's back that up.
And I'd like to now bring up another interesting place that you're finding descendants of the Israelites, but may not necessarily be from the 10 tribes, but will also play a role. And it shouldn't be overlooked. It's a very serious scenario. Is in Africa. Africa has perhaps hundreds of millions of people with this identity right now of being from the people of Israel. Does that mean they were from the 10 tribes? Likely not. We were taught by the historians and within our own traditions that when the Romans conquered Judea a few hundred years after that the tribes of Israel went into exile, perhaps millions of Judeans were sold.
And the 10 tribes are the northern kingdom, man. The so-called Hispanics and Native Americans. The so-called Negroes or those that are claiming to be the Jews in these times, the so-called African Americans who are raising up as the true Jews. That's the southern kingdom, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, but primarily that particular tribe are the so-called African Americans today, So
slavery into Africa, into Rome, deep into Africa, and if you look now, you're seeing people who are most likely the descendants of those slaves who kept true. I like to bring up a few specific examples because they're going to be game changers. One of them wrote letters to Israel when it became a state. And they said, we're Israelites out in Africa. Everyone laughed at them and they said, African Israelites, these people are just trying to jump on the first world country bandwagon. They're living in a third world country. They got nothing. We're coming to Israel. We got innovation, technology. So they're trying to get on this train because there's such a thing called the right of return. All descendants of the Jewish people from around the world are able to move to Israel. So they said we are also. And everyone kind of laughed at them, like I said. And a few people took it serious and went out there and started studying them, learned about their culture. And a professor from Duke University went out there and did DNA testing on them. And he showed not only did they share Semitic genes from people who were in Yemen and back to the Middle East, these gentlemen, a large percent of them, have the Y chromosome to be Kohanim, to be priests. Now, if anyone who doesn't know, a priest is a specific family clan of the nation of Israel, who come from Aaron, the brother of Moses, who was the first priest. And anyone descended from Aaron has the status title priest. And we found that these men in this village in South Africa called Lemba, Lemba, carry this genetic marker to let us know that they share the same as from the Sephardic and the Ashkenaz and the population of the people in Israel today. They share this.
In Ashkenaz, they're not, man, they do not descend back to the Israelites, man. You know what I'm saying? And he mentioned that whole thing about the Levites, man. And in these times, by way of the order of Melchizedek, all 12 tribes are Levites. I mean, are those priests, those are those priests in these times. Salaki, not the Levites, but are those priests in these times, man. You know what I'm saying? So, just this devil, man, they
Same
don't have
exact DNA marker. That's mind-blowing. So everyone kind of got humbled a little bit, who laughed at them and said, now what? Now what do we do about this? This could have tremendous implications. Another area in Africa you have something big happening is in Nigeria. You have the Igbo people, or Igbo, pronounced either way. There's 40 million of them, also Christians, like I spoke about before, how that could happen to the children of Israel very easily. But also a lot of them are now coming out and converting back or adopting the rules of the Torah without all the paganism that they've been practicing for hundreds of years. There's been books written about it from scholars in Nigeria, from scholars from the Jewish people. And where it gets interesting is, in America, there was a slave trade. And a lot of the slaves, a very high percentage of them, came from Western Nigerian ports. And in America today, you see a very large movement of African Americans who say that they're the real chosen people, that they're the children of Israel, they're the Judeans. So what are they just trying to create an identity for themselves because they were slaves, or is there really something here? And the answer is, most likely there is something there.
Yeah,
and
we're
most
the people.
likely, maybe that they were the original Israelites, and maybe that the Jewish people today, who are white, Caucasian people, came in a little bit later on.
Now pay attention.
We know that some of the greatest sages of the transmission of the Torah were converts from Rome.
Look at that look.
You have a man named Onkelos.
Do that again.
We know that some of the greatest sages of the transmission of the Torah were converts from Rome.
Look at that look. One more time.
You have a man later on. We know that some of the greatest sages of the transmission of the Torah were converts from Rome. You have a man named Onkelos who...
So they know, man. You know what I'm saying? He was talking too much, because we are the people. He wasn't supposed to say about the converts, man. So this dude is, hey, and that's just the Lord, man. We're in those times, man. So let's get into some scriptures, just some color scriptures real quick. Then I'm going to get out of here, man. Because, and a question that I would have for them is were they ever called niggers? Were they ever called niggers? Because the scriptures say that the people of the Lord were called niggers, man. As a matter of fact, let's get that real quick. They were never called niggers. You know what I'm saying? This is Acts chapter 13 and verse 1. Now there were in the church that was at Antioch certain prophets and teachers. So the prophets of the Lord, the teachers, the true teachers of the Bible, as Barnabas and Simeon, that was called nigger, and Lucius of Cyrene and Manaen, which had been brought up with Herod the Tetrarch and Saul. So let's real quick, just to prove that point, let's get this real quick. And I'm going to let this devil say it. So you see that they was called them niggers, man. And we know who's been called niggers, man. Real quick. There it is right there. Listen to this real quick.
Strong's G 3526.
Nigger, man. That's clear as day. Let's one more time. Let's play it one more time.
Strong's G 3526.
Nigger. Now, have they ever been called that? No. But I know who have. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, we're in those times, man. Let's just get a couple. Let's get a few color scriptures, man, and then we're going to get out of here. Let's go to Lamentations, the 4th chapter, and we're going to jump down to verse 8. This is Lamentations 4 and 8. Their visage is blacker than coal. We all know what color coal is. Stop playing games. They are not known in the streets. Their skin cleaveth to their bones. It is withered. It is become like a stick. And because it was during a time of famine, man. And of course, when you're already, melanated and you're in a famine, your skin is going to darken from malnutrition. You know what I'm saying? The skin darkens. And that word visage literally means your face, man. You know what I'm saying? So their face is blacker than a coal. They don't line up with that. You know what I'm saying? So let's jump over to verse chapter 5 now and jump down to verse 10. Lamentations 5 and 10. Our skin was black like an oven because of the terrible famine. There it is. Their skin was black. These people, no matter what they do, are going to turn black, man. You know what I'm saying? They're going to get red if they're in the sun and try to, they're going to burn and get red. You know what I'm saying? They're not going, nothing that they do or that what happens to them is going to turn them so-called black, man. You know what I'm saying? But the scriptures are using the word black, man. You know what I'm saying? So hey, we're going to keep it going, man. Just real quick. We all know these scriptures. We've done these lessons and bought these scriptures out many, many times, man. So we just going to run through it real quick. Job 30 and 30. My skin is black upon me and my bones are burned with heat. And this is Job, man. Job was a so-called black man. He said his skin, he's telling you clearly his skin is black. That's very clear, man. So how y'all the people, man? Stop, bro. You're not, man. Let's get that one in a Song of Solomon real quick. Chapter 1 and verse 5. This is King Solomon. Song of Solomon 1 and 5. I am black, but comely, but beautiful. O ye daughters of Jerusalem, as the tents of Kedar, as the curtains of Solomon. And Kedar was, I believe, a son of Ishmael, very dark complected son of Ishmael. And you see some of them Arabs today, man, they're darker than the so-called African Americans. So are those East Indians, man. Some of those East Indians. None of them are ever called black, though, And then you got lighter brown tones like myself and even lighter than me. Brothers in my camp, the brother I9, different Sha'ar and different brothers that's lighter tone, Benaiah, But we get called black. You know what I'm saying? So it's all, come on, man. It's all a bunch of BS and nonsense, So this is King Solomon. His skin is black. So the people of the Lord are so-called blacks. It describes the Messiah as a so-called black man. Skin burned, bronze, bronze, but burned in a fire, man. You know what I'm saying? Come on, you burn anything, we already know it's going to be so-called black, man. That's in Daniel, the 10th chapter, also in Revelations, the 1st chapter, man. You know what I'm saying? So there's many scriptures that describe the people of the Lord, man. And it ain't boxwood, even though that destroys you as well, So, but it ain't you. It's not so-called white people, which are red, man. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, it is what it is, man. Hey, these devils are through. It's over, man. Their kingdom is done. The Lord is about to destroy this place, man. He's about to take these devils down. And hey, it's our time, man. You know what I'm saying? We're getting closer and closer. So, again, I just want to do a real quick hit lesson, man. And hopefully this was edifying to the hopeful elect. With that, giving all praises, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect, the house of David, the Bayath Shal Dawadah Shalom.